Welcome to the next episode, and in today's episode, we are going to be talking on a topic I call hyper awareness. Now, hyper awareness is basically the idea that we as an individual we remain aware of our bodily environment and our mental environment constantly throughout our everyday lives. Yes, that's basically what it is. It is being aware of your body and mind for every minute and every hour of the day. So this can go, or rather you can conceptualize being aware of your bodily sensations, whether you get hungry, whether you get pain or whatever. Also your emotions, your emotional body as well. Being aware of the sensations, the emotions that you feel, as well as the suggestions that you get through thoughts. You being aware of your own thought habits, your own thought loops, your own belief systems and fears and all this stuff. That's the idea of hyper awareness. It is to be an individual that is constantly in a state of being aware of everything that is happening within his being, both in the mental plane and in the physical plane. Now, obviously, if you are someone tuned into this channel, you obviously can conceptualize the benefits of such practice. So I won't even dwell on those, but just to elaborate more on how we could put this idea into practical use on our everyday lives. Basically, it's being able to feel all or any bodily sensation and be aware that you are feeling this bodily sensation and remaining still in that presence, in that state, and not react. Now, the idea is actually, I think this is also scientifically proven on some animals, where the monkey, you give it a banana, it immediately feels happy, but you take away the banana, then it immediately starts being aggressive and chaotic, and all of that stuff. So the idea is stimuli and reaction. So basically, there is a stimuli that causes a specific reaction, or rather not specific, but there is an event that happens that then causes such monkeys to go through a stressful environment, which then that stressful environment manifests as a coping mechanism. So let's say you take away the banana from the monkey, they start to feel angry. Why are you taking away my banana? Now they start to express that anger by latching out, making noises, monkey noises, and trying to get the banana from you, being aggressive. So the idea is stimuli and reaction. Now, the idea of me being aware of a stimuli and remaining still is bridging a gap. First of all, it's opening a gap between the distance of stimuli and reaction. What this means is, I receive whatever stimuli it can be. For this example, we'll say hunger. I receive the sensation of being hungry, and I become aware that I am hungry. And now, as I am aware, immediately I get the thoughts of what can I eat? There's food in the fridge, maybe there's bread or whatever. Let me go and have some. So that is completing the full, stimuli response equation. But now we want to disturb that loop and get the stimuli. Be aware of what we are feeling. Be aware of the thoughts, the suggestions we are getting, the impulses that we are receiving to act upon, our desires to eat in this example, and remaining still. Now, the more that we remain still and do not react, is the more we widen that gap. Now, we want to widen that gap to the point where we are able to critically think and use our prefrontal neocortex, which is the mind brain that is responsible for thinking logically, making decisions based off knowledge that we have. Now we want to then use this mind. I will just call it neo for simplicity's sake. We'll use our neocortex to evaluate the different possibilities, or rather the best plan of action to take in this exact moment. So let's say we are in the lifestyle that we're in, eating 1 meal a day, and we eat this meal at a specific time, let's say 6 p.m. or 4 p.m., whatever time it is. But now we are hungry at like 11 a.m. or 12 p.m. So by exercising, by doing this practice, remaining aware and still, and then going back into our minds, and then letting the neocortex come up with the best thing for us to do, basically realizing that no, we cannot eat now because we have a solid routine that says we can only eat at specified time. So the best plan of action, if the hunger is persistent, is to drink, let's say, water, right? Therefore, we have exercised our neocortex and came up with a wise decision to drink water, to what? To numb or dull that stimuli or that event. And we want to do this consistently, and we want to do this for, as I've mentioned, all or any bodily sensation, all or any type of emotion, and all or any thought or suggestion or ideas or beliefs and so on. We want to practice this and remain in the state of awareness, and using our conscious minds and letting our neocortex make the decisions instead of being reactive based off our circumstance, or being stimulated by such X event and reacting to that. We want to always take decisions that we have thought of and we have predicted what those decisions are going to get us such results that are desirable or rather aligned with our goals, right? So that's basically the gist of it. To just simplify what I've just said, stimuli, and then there's a response. But then Tina, us, we get stimulated, we remain aware, and we remain still. We widen the gap. Now the gap widens, we are thinking using our critical, logical mind, what is the best thing for us to do in this exact moment? What is the thing that does not go against our routine, our goals and mission and purpose in life, but actually aligns with that? And then we do that because that is the best thing for us to do. And then with that being said, that's basically the gist of the video. Yeah, have a good one. I will see you again on the next video. Cheers.